Well, thanks for joining us once again. Today we're going to take a look at Calum Wilson's 1983 510 TC Husqvarna. Now, I have posted a video of this bike a while back, but this is a more updated version with a bit more information, and you can actually hear the bike running at the end of this video. Now, just to put you in the picture, Calum's 510 Husky was of course destroyed in a fire, and this is what the bike looked like when it first was recovered from the back of Calum's transporter. As you can see, there wasn't an awful lot of the bike left. Most of the plastics and most of the rubber bits of course were naturally burnt to a crisp. Quite a few of the metal bits survived the intense heat of the fire, but now the night of the fire, Calum actually had two bikes in the back of his transporter when the fire took hold. He had this bike, the 510 Husky, and Calum also had a really nice Curtis Honda, which was also near enough destroyed in the fire. So he hopes to renovate the Curtis Honda later, although in this particular case we'll concentrate on the Husqvarna. And this is the transporter, or what was left of it, that had the two bikes in the back. Of course the van was totally destroyed, and as you can see, the bikes didn't fare too well either. Although once all the renovations were carried out, this is what the bike looks like after its full renovation and restoration treatment. Now, the motor survived the fire quite well. All it was required was a complete strip down and a new cam chain, and I think it got a set of valves on the top end, but basically the motor survived the fire really well, and it was just stripped and rebuilt. Now, naturally all the plastics had to be replaced due to the damage by the heat of the fire, so the bike did get a new seat base, foam and cover, and a new set of plastics all round. The front forks were, as well as the frame of course, were sandblasted and then painted. Now, the rear shocks were obviously removed from the bike, then sandblasted and totally renovated inside and out, and then painted and then refitted to the bike. Now, of course, the bike did need a new set of handlebars, levers, grips and cables. The rear hub there, it was of course just stripped and repainted. Now, the thing that did survive the fire quite well were the two tailpipes, which only required stripping, repacking and then painting, and of course refitting to the bike. But they survived the fire quite well, as you'd expect. Now, because the fuel tank on this particular bike was made of alloy, it survived the fire not too badly. All it was required was to be stripped, repainted, and a new set of tank graphics and a new fuel cap fitted to the bike. Now, the personalised graphics on the front number plate and the side panels were manufactured by MXM Graphics, who did a superb job on supplying the graphics for this particular bike. Rear seat cover with the new foam and base. And Calum actually opted for a new set of SM Pro rims, although the original wheels were still in quite good condition. Now you've got a good view of those MXM personalised graphics. Of course, the front hub got the same treatment as the rear, with just a strip down and a repaint. There's another nice view of that big 510 lump, which was stripped and rebuilt with brand new seals, gaskets and bearings. As we see, a very nice view of the side of the completed bike. I must admit, it's a stunning looking machine. Especially when you see it from this angle with those superb big tailpipes protruding from the rear. That's a picture of the completed and rebuilt Husqvarna shocks. These were completely renovated with new seals and regassed. Another nice view of the bike. These pictures were actually taken in January 2016 at a little place called Lime Kilns in Fife, right down on the coast there. Now, although many of the parts used in the renovation of this bike came from HVA Factory, the Husqvarna specialists, other parts were sourced from Charlie Preston, who also deals in vintage Husqvarna spare parts. So I thought we'd give Charlie a mention there. Another lovely view of the completed bike there. Now, believe me when I tell you that there's a nice symphony played from these two tailpipes. Imagine being a motocross rider and coming up behind a bike like this with these two pipes sticking straight out the back. Yes, and one thing's for sure, there's never a shortage of power from that big 4-stroke Husqvarna motor. Now, if you'd like to know more about the rebuild of this particular bike, you can see a full feature magazine article in issue number 70 of VMX Magazine. The new tank graphics supplied by HVA Factory, and the front number plates there by MXM Graphics. So that's the bike completely refinished, but the one thing you're probably wondering is, what does it sound like? Now, this particular video was taken a couple of weeks before the actual bike was completed with the new graphics, but this will give you an idea just exactly what the bike sounds like.